didn't check that everyone's in the right place, but I think they are. Hello, everyone, and
Hello.
welcome back.
Wait, am I in the right place?
Yeah.
I think
It's
I
all
need to
good.
move you guys a little bit. Oh,
Sorry.
You just bark.
that's fine.
Did you just bark at me?
Just a little bit of, but everyone's pretty much in the right place, or in a good place. Physically on cameras. I'm not making statements about your mental well-being. So, oof. Yes, welcome back to Somnambulist. We're on episode number 10, and it's been an interesting time. Anyone new? Hello, welcome to the Wandering Inn. Anyone who's come back, hello, and welcome back to the Wandering Inn. I am recovering from having a tooth ripped out of my head. Don't worry, it was a dentist, not a random person. And it was actually a good thing that we didn't have last episode, because I don't think I was in a state to do last week. So yes, good.
What is it with the motorcycles all of a sudden? Like, is a biker gang passing by your house? Like,
I do live right next to a biker gang.
shit, I thought I was joking.
But yeah, so for those of you watching and on YouTube, on Twitch, and on everywhere, things coming up for the channel soon. I'm not quite ready to kind of announce things yet, but I've been thinking over things, and yeah, be prepared. Speaking of being prepared, in no way at all, did you know I have a Patreon and I don't prepare my intros where I talk about promoting the things that keep the channel going? So, there's Patreon. If you want, you can go and give some money to the channel, because everything from the Patreon goes straight into paying the cost. Anything left over goes into paying for the art, for the video intros and outros, like you might have seen them on Dragon Riders and other things. And yeah, I'm hoping in the near future that we'll get to the point where we can have 2 shows a week, which would be lovely. I have a few plans for the Friday show, which currently Dragon Riders Season 2 is coming. I'm not going to announce it yet, but I did just announce it, so. But I'll tell you the dates later on. There you go. Can you tell I had my tooth ripped out of my head like a week ago or so? Past that, there is Twitter, there is the Discord if you want to stay up to date, and if you enjoy Mage, if you enjoy, you know, the shows you've seen, there's quite a few now on over on the YouTube. There's a VTM show, there's a Werewolf the Apocalypse show. It's not really Werewolf the Apocalypse. There's a Werewolf the Sheepy made some shit up show.
Sheepening.
Yeah. Josh is on both of those. There's a Cowboy Bebop, Expanse, Firefly vibe, space, sci-fi, space opera show called Drifting, and there's a 2-shot, little D&D 2-shot. I GM D&D for once. Josh is on that one too.
All the good stuff has me in.
Yeah, all
Weird.
the good stuff has you in. And of course there's Dragon Riders, which is completely custom made. I made the system, I made the setting, I put way too much work into it, and it's quite, I'm not going to say unique, it's different from the norm in that it, the cast play 2 characters at the same time. They play Dragon Rider, and they play the dragon of one of the other cast members. So, you know, for example, if we were doing it here, Josh would play his own character, his Dragon Rider, and then he would play like Syrinx's dragon. It's a lot of fun, and it was very interesting as a GM to have to keep switching those overlays when they like switched voices and characters. So.
I would be a bad dragon though. What?
Anyway. Should we get on with the show? I'm sorry, it's just...
I feel very judged right now.
Like, your face when you said it was just completely straight and, you know, no idea. And then it was just like a slow realization of, oh yeah, there's... Anyway. Oh, yes, actually, for those of you who are interested, or if you don't know, if you're a patron and you don't know, on the Patreon we currently have the Sunkissed module. So if you want to run your own Sunkissed if you want to run your own Sunkissed campaign with your mates, you can download it. It's got all the basic info of what I built Sunkissed with, all the NPCs who are left alive and all of those type of things. Basic building blocks if you want to do it, and same for Dragon Riders. The system that I made is up there for patrons to download and to do whatever you want with. And finally, pretty soon, the drifting, like let's call it module, will be up as well. So if you want to run a show, run a camp. My brain is just like show, not campaign. If you want to run a champagne. If you want to run a campaign in drifting, you'll get the basic building blocks again to do that. Anyway, last week, I believe we had a visit from a lovely lady called Gaia, who kicked down the metaphorical realms of reality and kind of burst in like the Kool-Aid man. After a little bit of understandable suspicion and much more intense and probably less understandable suspicion as well. That's right, I'm looking at Nell.
Fine. I basically almost saved their asses one time with that suspicion, but fine. Yeah, totally unneeded. Yeah. Continue, Sheepy, please.
Yes, okay. We, having got the artifacts needed to, basically locate, Kira in the spirit realm, and the instruments which will help kind of, you know, like, get in there and guide them. The young mages decided to go and try and get her, which led to them traveling through the spirit realm, seeing all manner of weird things, and eventually breaking through into something different. A cold desert, like white bone desert, and in the distance there's a tall kind of structure. It looks a bit like a castle or something along those lines. Very far away in the distance. And as they were there, a couple of figures started to approach. I'm not 100% sure on what was it essentially like hello, and then it was like now you must die.
For the most part, I remember them telling us to go away or something.
That's right, yeah. So there were two of them. One was very large, a lot taller, kind of like 12 foot tall, 15 foot tall, with a huge crack like down his body. And the other one was a lot smaller, and essentially said that, you weren't needed here. You can go away, except for Sesha, who is going to go back with them to the castle in the background. Which I believe was rejected pretty much outright. And then the smaller one with kind of like ridges kind of down his sides pointed at Gaia, and his finger extended like a sharp point and flew directly at her. So
I believe, yeah, Sasha wanted to protect me, which is very, very sweet.
That's correct. Yes, I do seem to remember that.
Yes, I would like to freeze said needle.
Yes. So before we do that, I'm going to add a little extra thing in here. When things start to kick up, I'm not sure, probably if both of you are concentrated, I would say mainly Nell, you would notice, you would hear a kind of very panicked, screaming about Beta, and that she can't do this from Alfie. And if you were to look over, but I don't know, because obviously there's this thing going in front of you, Alfie has taken the gloves, ripped open a section of reality, and jumped in to a very kind of dark, gloomy, like wisps of smoke coming out. Alfie has essentially, and I think you would all get this, you know, once you've seen it or you realize being told that it's happened. Alfie's basically panicked, possibly lost Beta, and has ripped open a hole to the veil and jumped in there.
Does that hole remain open? Then there's not much to do, except for a look at that, realize what's happening, and then say, "Oh, for fuck's sakes, Alfie!" And then like realize it's too late and that the hole shuts. And yeah.
So, going back to what you were saying, the entity has basically said, you know, and therefore you die, or then you can die, and pointed his finger at you, which has like extended very quickly and shot towards you. Sesha, I believe you wanted to... Okay. In this instance, could you please roll me your time and gnosis, which I believe is a 5? That's 2 successes. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes with a crit. So you feel yourself slowing down the time around this the finger around this entity to basically slow the progress of the of the finger of this needle point finger that's flying towards Gaia, and it just doesn't slow. Like, you are slowing down time, but it just goes quicker. So it kind of matches the time you adjust to just push harder or push faster. So, Gaia, you could react to this. Essentially, you won't have any context there, so this thing's just
Okay.
flying at you.
It's still flying at me. In that case, I would like to connect the point where it would contact my face with somewhere else. Preferably either... would I redirect it back at them?
Directly behind your head?
Yeah, I just avoid me getting killed at this point.
So, if you like, you could open there and open there, so it looks...
There and...
so it
Yeah,
looks
those
like
two...
it's-
Connect those 2 points.
Yeah.
Like, the way to get from here to here is there instead of there.
Okay. So, as...
With my space magic.
the finger goes... Sesh, you try and slow it down, but it just doesn't, and both of you see this needle pinpoint go straight through Gaia's head and out the other side and thunks into the sand. And there's a second where everyone's just there.
Don't do that again, or I'm going to have to prevent you from hurting anyone.
And the
I kind of step out of the way.
the finger like retracts and comes back in.
Right. So, we're not talking?
I mean, if you have anything to say to them, they are going to stop us getting where we need.
I mean, will you bring us Akira?
That's a good question.
To who?
It's Akira? The girl you have trapped in there in that little castle of yours?
And when you say that, Ridges looks over to the taller one, to the cracked body one, and says, "Kill them."
Alright, yeah, we tried friendly.
You tried. You did.
At which point the big one is just like, "Ooh," and like takes both of his hands and smashes them into the ground. Like a whole load of sand just kind of flies up around him, and he then like looks up and starts like charging directly, not anywhere in particular, like someone directly, because you're all kind of reasonably close together, just straight at all of you.
Yeah, Kat, what are you planning to do? Because I am planning to just swap places with him.
Oh, that.
I don't want to be that close.
But tell me what you're planning, and maybe yours is funnier.
Well, I was going to suggest if Nell could, redirect him towards me, so that he was charging like at me specifically.
Yeah. Could give her a little shout, ask her to, redirect him.
Yeah, tell me how you would communicate that with me.
Watch this. You just start seeing like Sasha, like she tucks her her cane underneath her arm, and she starts running to the left. And she goes, or like running to the right or whatever. She's just like,
Pass
"Nell,
it to me.
go long."
Go long.
All right. I think. Yeah, I don't really have anything prepared for this, but I think what's the minimalistic way to do this? He's already charging. He's already using momentum.
Yeah.
So can I try to just slightly redirect his... I can't control his mind, so I can try to just control the way he's using the momentum to go forward, right?
Yeah.
So that he just like... It's not that I'm putting it to him that he needs to go to Sesha, but I'm trying to just slightly move the space where he's going to run to do that in the direction of Sesha.
I would say in this instance, yes.
Like, I imagine it like using he's charging straight forward, so I'm suspecting I know the path he's going to take, the spaces he's going to step on.
Yeah.
So I want to swap out, instead of him stepping on that space, doing one slightly right, and then slightly right again, and then slightly right.
It's essentially you're like moving the space under his feet as he charges.
Yeah.
So he's still charging forwards.
Yeah.
But it takes his trajectory on a turn.
It's like one of those I don't know if you've ever seen the musicals where they have the round like tables that just turn. So you're running forward, but
Susan.
like the ground underneath you is turning. So
Do me a space and gnosis, please.
yeah, so that's 5, I think. It's always been 5. Yep.
Okay. 2 successes, yes. In this instance, there's really not much to fight against, I guess. So essentially, Sesha, this big, huge, lumbering beast of a thing, slowly kind of like the trajectory is going straight towards you, but starts to turn and heads towards you, kind of barreling down towards you.
Excellent. I'm going to clap my hands together. And I'm going to spit in them, rub them together. And I would like to use Chaos Sphere.
Oh god, okay. Yeah. Please roll me your fate and your time and your gnosis, please. I believe
Let's see, that's gonna
that
be-
is 9 dice.
Yep.
Can't wait to find out what the fuck a chaos sphere is.
Okay. This giant lumbering berserker essentially charges straight at you. You put a hand up, and a sphere of dark, swirling, kind of chaotic energy starts to form and starts to build. And you put your other hand up, and you move your hands out, and it stretches as you move, and then becomes larger. So it's like it starts to grow in front of you. Like you got a crit, and you got a lot of success. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total successes. So I'm guessing you want to make it big and extremely chaotic.
I just want him to run straight into it.
Yeah. Seeing as you got a crit, and this is going to be fairly silly, would you like to tell me what comes out the other end, or would you like me to, okay, you go.
All right, so he
So-
charges forth.
Charges
Go ahead.
into it,
Yeah.
and kind of, as his hands hit it, he tries to, like, push it away, and his hands just go into it. And he's slowly, like, twisting and getting all bent. It almost seems like reality's being weird as well, like weird reflections and bendiness that shouldn't happen to a body, and just gets sucked into this sphere.
And so after he gets sucked into the sphere, you just kind of see it swirling for a good couple seconds, and then like nothing happens, and you're just kind of like, and all of a sudden you hear this, and out pops a little puppy. And I catch it.
Yeah, just not very big, just a kind of, you know, little kind of small puppy there. And I assume you want to dismiss the sphere.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you just close your hands, and the sphere dissipates. Gaia, I'll give you this. You've never seen that before. You've seen quite a lot.
It's very interesting.
Reminder to myself, never get on your bad side.
I'm assuming it doesn't only turn things into puppies.
I walk back, petting said puppy.
Right. And Null turns and like directly points at the guy who's still standing there. She points, yeah, you still want to kill us? I'm trying.
Don't be too impressed. He was the weakest and stupidest of us.
Right. Okay. And I
Oh, that's probably why he turned into this then. I hold it up and it's a little chihuahua puppy.
I don't wait for that. I swap places first of all. So the guy is like, don't be too impressed. He's the weakest of it. And then he's suddenly on another space. Yeah. So I start by swapping places. And
So
seems to
in
remind
that
myself.
instance, you'll be where he is.
Yeah.
And he'll be kind of like
Close
by to Gaia, and Sesha, you'll be fairly close, but you ran a little further away, so Gaia essentially is mostly close to you.
Oh, okay. Well, if she's next to me, I was wondering, the fabric of this material place is spirit energy, right?
Yeah.
It's not actually physical objects in a traditional sense,
It's
like in our realm.
no, it's kind of hard to. It's hard to precisely put your finger on it. It's a little different from everything else in this that you've seen in the spirit realm before. Maybe it's like condensed spirit energy.
Weird. Okay. Can I control it with spirit magic then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I will harden the sand around him and just use it to kind of slowly pin him where he is and like suck him into a position where he can't attack anyone.
Okay. Please roll me your spirit and your gnosis.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
6 successes. The younger mages are like, oh god, that's a lot of dice. Alright. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ooh. Is there a reroll I can do?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to reroll 3. Seeing as it's a tie, 2 extras. So yeah, essentially when you kind of move and you start to mold the sand, it starts off a little bit slowly because you're not completely familiar with the nature of it, but you start to get a feel for it quicker, and it kind of moves slowly, turns into more like clay than sand as it kind of gets compacted together, and then moves a lot quicker and like kind of spirals up along him. As that happens, you see like multiple kind of dents forming in this like white clay sand, kind of like spikes coming out of it, but not quite piercing through it. And then from like the side of his head, which hasn't quite been like, you know, encased, a spike just flies out directly towards you.
That is entirely too many spikes. I'm just gonna suck him into the ground.
Yeah, so it's essentially like as the spike is flying towards you, it suddenly drops down like and gets kind of covered up by the sand as well. And are we going head or are you going all the way down? Like
I'm going down so he's underneath the ground, but not so far that he can't hear us when we shout at him.
Okay, so yeah, he just gets dragged down under the ground and the kind of sand like flows up to cover.
I'm gonna twist him round so he doesn't know which way's up as well.
Okay. So he's in the sand.
Okay. Is there anything you wanted to ask, or shall we continue to the bone castle?
Nell walks back over easily and then like lowers down to look at the ground, gets close to it, goes like, "Are you planning to talk to us?"
Let me up, and
I-
I will speak.
Nell jumps like the place where he's in the sand. Nell stands on top of it and just like jumps really hard a few times. So she's like, she jumps a few times, and then leans back down and says, "You promise not to attack us?"
Is your
If he
friend
doesn't answer
trustworthy?
immediately, there's a few more jumps.
There's
Is your friend trustworthy? Is he?
there's a pause. Oh, like a hot second, and then I give my words.
Nell looks up at Guy and says, like,
Slowly, there's a mound of sand that kind of falls away from the top of his head, and he's just like up to here in the sand.
Nell quickly moves away because she's standing on top of him. So
Oh yeah.
she quickly, oh shit, yeah, steps back.
Okay, well, you have two options: either answer our questions, or I will just leave you here.
I mean, he gave us his word that he was going to answer or talk to us or not attack us. That's what he gave us his word on.
That is why I am trusting him for now.
Don't forget, he is a spirit.
What are the questions?
Why do you want her? And I point to Sasha.
She is responsible for the creation.
Nell narrows her eyes slightly and looks at Sasha.
What do you know about your creation?
Cute puppy?
What do you know of our creation?
All I know is that you have invaded this space and changed its nature. Shouldn't be here. You have hurt the spirit world in it.
It should not be here, but it is, and we are.
I can find you somewhere else.
I think you will find we are very happy to be here. As our domain slowly expands, it will not be a problem.
I will not allow that.
Do not think just because you have beaten me and my companion that you hope to defeat the ones behind me.
We will deal with them as they come. Perhaps they are more agreeable than you.
I think you will find yourself disappointed.
I can try. Sasha, do you have anything to ask of your creation?
You know, I've never been one to be into the whole creating a family kind of thing. You know, it's not really my type of thing. But where's my sibling?
He like moves his hand. Oh, sorry, he's covered completely. He can't move his hand. In that case, kind of very slight jerk of the head. In the palace, waiting for you.
All right.
Is the one you kidnapped in there as well?
Yes.
Great. All right, how about we figure out this fucked up family situation that you made? Apparently.
Oh, it wasn't just me by myself, I'm sure.
You're sure?
I mean, I don't have domain over spirit magic. How could I
No.
create a spirit?
Nell turns to the guy in the sand and asks him, is she the only one responsible for your creation?
She was the catalyst.
Is she the only one responsible for your creation?
No.
All right, you're lucky.
It takes two to tango, darling. You learned that in health class, right?
The creator is back in the palace.
That's not ominous at all. All right. I'm out of questions. I'm gonna look at the other two.
I think we should head to what he calls the palace. And the spiky dude slurps back into the ground. He will be able to escape eventually, but I cannot bring myself to hurt him. And also, I don't want him causing problems for us.
That's fair. And I slump down into the ground and say, next time when you want to greet your mother, you will do so in a more polite way, especially when she brings friends over.
You did
reply.
not just call yourself that thing's mother.
I don't know, can't you tell a little resemblance?
You are both prickly.
Exactly.
Yeah, he has your eyes. What the fuck do you want me to tell on that? He has your bone structure?
My bone structure is pretty sharp.
Oh dear. We have a very long walk ahead of us.
Yeah, speaking of walk, yeah, we're missing one. So we just leave
Oh,
when she comes back?
From my understanding, this place is protected from all manner of spirits and the dead. My friend, the hearth, isn't able to breach the walls. So I imagine she went to find her friend.
She did say something about Beta.
Well, it can't be helped. She can't really, I feel like she can't really function without his aid.
And none of us can reach the... Well... How do you call that realm? The ghost?
The veil?
Yeah. None of us can reach the veil. So... just have to trust that she's safe and knows what she's doing.
I'm sure she will be safe if her friend is there.
So, onwards to Mount Doom?
Yep.
Afraid I don't have any eagles for you. and it is
Fly, you fools.
it is quite a long walk. So essentially, there is not much for me to say. It is a bone white desert, and there are no features aside from essentially dunes. You know, sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. And in the distance, a very tall, kind of rocky, bony structure. So, if there's anything you would like to talk about or discuss before you, well, as you head further in, you have the time for, let's face it, a fairly large conversation, even, you know. I imagine some people probably want to have a go at Sasha.
Like, I can see this coming a mile off,
Yeah.
so before that happens, inevitably, Gaia actually, like, intercepts Nell as she sees her thinking about that.
The best thing about all of this is Nell could shorten that walk so much, but she is not.
Yeah. Gaia's gonna go to Nell a little bit ahead of where Sasha is walking, and just ask, why is it that you think Sasha makes you so angry?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because she's the catalyst of all things bad, apparently. Seems like a reasonable thing.
She has made a mistake. A big mistake. I'm not going to cover for her. But you are young mages, so there are many more mistakes coming.
Yeah, and people were mad at me when I made mistakes as well.
And did them being mad help you?
No, not at all.
Yes. Do you not want to help Sasha? You're both here to get your friend.
Yes, but kind of can't shake the feeling that she's partly the reason why she's our friend is here in the first place.
What does that mean?
I mean, Seshel's been. Look, we started from I had nothing to do with it, nothing at all, to multiple small factors of, oh, but there was this necklace. Oh, but I really wanted her to get her potential. Oh, yeah, so I apparently am a co-creator of these things, whatever they are. There are so many factors that seemingly make it that she, and Noel says that letter and looks back a bit, is somehow responsible for our friend getting here.
Yes.
So yeah, sorry that I'm mad about that.
There's no need to apologize. It is
I
something
don't-
to get mad about. But she is here and she is trying to fix what went wrong. Does that not account for some of her wrongdoing?
Yeah, like 7%.
7% is a start.
Ignoring all of the other things that she did that would make a person very angry. Last thing being not getting the emotional reaction that some of us had at seeing certain things and kind of being a dick about it. Yeah.
You seem to care a great deal about what she thinks.
I wouldn't if she wouldn't push it into my face that much. would care a lot less if she didn't do that.
I think she cares a lot about what you think as well.
I don't know. Let's ask her. Sasha, do you care a lot about what I think about you?
Who's a good little chaos puppy? You. What?
See?
She is trying to get a reaction out of you, and she succeeded, so clearly.
So what, you can read minds?
No, but I have met a lot of people and
So you're a
had lot of
psychiatrist?
problems. There is wisdom in age.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. Not all the time.
I most definitely care about what Nell thinks. It helps me prepare if I need to get a punch in the face from her or not.
She kind of does deserve them if she talks like that, right?
Yes, she wants you to react. I think that is the only way she can find someone who cares enough to do something. You have both been scolded and treated so badly by the council. It only makes sense.
Nella's silenced for a moment by Dad. And she just looks back to Sasha for a moment. Yeah, I never stopped to think about it that way.
Well, you will be spending a lot of time together, so might as well make the best of it. And I am always here to help. If you have any questions, no. I'm better versed in space magic. And also people, sometimes.
Thing we have in common. Well, space magic, not people. Merlin doesn't like it when I drop things on his doorstep. I find it very useful.
What do you drop on his doorstep?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything.
I would love to see this one day. Does he
I
know?
could drop you on his doorstep right now, but I'm not gonna do that.
It has been a while since I have talked to Merlin, so my only assumption is that he is extremely confused.
I don't think he cares that much. About something ending up on his doorstep and it being me. It just, I think he very much likes the variety I bring.
You have brought something into his life. He was always a fuddy-duddy.
I think it keeps him young.
How did you meet him?
He actually kind of met me. I mean, kind of logical, seeing as I was new to the whole magic thing, and I kind of thought I was the only one out there, and I started using my abilities to do good. Maybe I attracted a bit too much attention with that.
Oh, so you were a superhero.
Young me would foolishly say yes. Current me would say yes as well, but in a less enthusiastic way. I tried to do good and I tried to use it to help, and I didn't realize the consequences yet.
Yes, consequences is what we have to get used to with our new abilities.
he and every other council member and every other mage literally that we've met has made it clear. Yeah, and I'm slowly trying to understand it.
Yes, what they do not say is exactly how bad their consequences have affected them. Don't think they're all there because they're super geniuses.
I absolutely never thought they were all super geniuses. Thank you for the reassurance. And honestly, it's kind of refreshing to meet a seemingly very powerful mage like you that's not doesn't have an alliance to this council filled with questionable people.
Yes, I have had to interact with them because they have been a force imposing themselves on certain parts of the magical world, but they can't cover everything.
Imposing is an understatement.
Well, yes.
You could also join us if you're going to join the conversation.
Yes, come up here.
All right. Come on, Chaos Puppy. Let's go say hi.
Chaos is an excellent name for a dog.
I think it's pretty fitting as well. I hold the dog up to Nell's face.
Nell tries to do the tough act for a moment and seem unaffected by the dog. But then just like reaches out to take him. And
Aw,
take him
Chaos
from
Puppy
Sasha's
likes
hands. Yo, it's maybe the nicest things you've indirectly done in a very long time.
I know. I was really surprised. I thought, maybe a T-Rex or something was going to pop out. But lucky us, it was a puppy.
Nell is holding the puppy now and giving it pets. So you just make a bubble and hope something not that destructive comes out.
Yes, pretty much. I don't like using it as it, again, it's just pure chaos. And I mean, it's quite dangerous and I have no control over it. So I figured I could use it in a realm where, there once was a bunch of control and see if it could counteract it. AKA, I just kind of hoped for the best. And it
Well,
worked.
I suppose that is the curse of fate.
Unfortunately.
Where did you get
Wait.
chocolate in this realm?
Huh?
Sorry, it's just so Syrinx eat.
Nell is opening small portals next to her and taking
one
them out.
square at a time, just like.
And the guy I mentioned, you want one?
Yes, what are they?
Kind of like cinnamon biscuits covered with sugar. Here, try them.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna eat dice.
Commitment to the bit.
Now the ultimate move. Sasha, you want one? Here.
Oh, yes, I got them. Thank you.
Wait till she opens a portal to her orange juice pocket dimension and just puts a straw in.
Just open a very small one and it just drips out. You open your mouth.
Orange juice dimension, they call it the fantasy.
I'm upset I set you up for that. So.
Yes, we have another possible battle ahead of us. Is there something that you can do to prepare? I know You have a sword. I have no weapons aside from my magic and no hell.
I mean, my sword is very situational.
Okay.
It probably doesn't help that my sibling also has one identical to mine.
Oh,
So
Right,
Okay.
so your sword could, as you said it, sever the strings.
mhm.
So would his sword do the same or the opposite?
Well, if it's a being of my creation, or not mine alone, but somewhat of mine, I would imagine it would essentially do the same.
hmm. And if it is using whatever this realm has as its ignition source, I suppose is the right word. It is certainly spirit, but it is in a way that I do not understand. So yes, it is probably very dangerous.
I guess it'd be safe to say that when they said they were expanding their realm within the spirit realm, they're establishing order.
Hmm. I do not like it. Is there anything you would like to cast before we arrive? Or do?
Nope.
We can make time for it.
I'm not really the preparations kind of person.
Okay, well, in that case, I would like to experiment 1 minute. And I look at the top of the nearest dune. I am going to, as this is spirit stuff,
Yeah.
I'm going to see if it can be animated to become a spirit in its own right. Like, I'm not controlling it, I give it its own spirit.
Okay. The immediate problem you come upon is you need this spirit energy. You know, like when you conjure a spirit, when you bring a spirit from the spirit realm into reality, you're not creating, you're drawing.
Hmm.
With this, it's kind of like you could make a person out of the material. There wouldn't be any drive to it. There wouldn't be any
Animus.
Yeah.
Is there a way I can unlock some of that potential from like the way it's been condensed?
I would say the best way I can describe it is it's inert.
Oh,
So
it's been killed.
essentially almost like it's been processed and
Hmm. Hmm.
which I'm guessing probably isn't super happy fun times for Gaia.
No, I think she feels some sort of chill go down her spine. If it has been processed and its animation has been, or the capacity to animate has been removed,
Oh,
does death work?
null is what I would call it.
No, it's been nullified.
It's not dead.
It is not dead at all. Okay.
Like the makeup is spirit. It hasn't been killed. It's almost been inert or nullified almost.
Oh God. Okay.
Like I said, Gaia, order within the chaos and all that jazz.
Yes, I really don't like it. This is extremely uncomfortable for me. Oh god. It might be dangerous, but I could bring a spirit through the barrier. Can I try and make a connection with a spirit outside of this place?
You can try.
Oh god.
I could tell you there, and aside from the fact that you walked through the spirit realm to get here, and you literally transitioned from spirit realm to here, you would have no idea that spirit realm even existed, as far as you can tell from right here.
That's not good. Could I make a portal to there that something could transition through?
It might take quite a long time preparation. If you want, you can just punch through, but
That's caused problems before.
yeah.
I could if you want to take that route, I can totally help you.
No, I know.
Just saying.
This will be difficult, but I think there are some aspects of the spirit realm that remain here that I may be able to work with, but I'm still figuring that out. We should go before I end up doing this and forever.
So, carry on towards the castle. Okay. You keep going. At some points, it kind of feels like you're not getting any closer, but you do. As time goes on. Yeah, aside from Turnell, who is like, oh no, and guys, so only Sesha's like, are we not getting any closer? The other two are like, I have a perfect grasp of space, so I know that we are getting closer, I can tell. Yay, magic. However, as you get closer, it is, as I said, it is a pure white kind of bone, like jutting out of the sand. You see that reasonable ways up, you know, kind of a 2-story house or 3-story house or something. There's a bit of an entrance with like steps going up to it, with then like a arch, and then just darkness inside. As you get closer, you see that some figures come out. They don't call to you. Appears to be 3 of them. You recognize one of them. And yeah, essentially they don't move, they don't say anything. You keep going until you reach the bottom of the stairs, essentially.
Which figure is it that we recognize, Sheepy?
Well, let me describe them all to you. Standing in the center, kind of framed by the black arch, is a small figure, very smooth, about 5'5", luminous green jade eyes, and a fairly kind of moon-shaped face. The entity that you know as Moonface. To his left is... This one's kind of weird. Actually, they're both kind of weird, and one of them will probably stick out to you a little bit more than the other. But one of them has these kind of like bumpy, almost like ridged circles floating above his shoulders, above his neck. There's 2 of them. One is slightly higher than the other, and you can see like both of the circles have eyes, like kind of a nose shape-ish and a mouth, and below is like some white robes, and what you can see is like the very bottom of the very top of a spine kind of sticking out of the neck, but there's no head, just the like floating orbs, which you would guess would be heads. On the other side of Moonface is a black, kind of shadowy figure. The best way I can describe is like a much taller, more adult-looking version of Killja, and you've all met Killja, so. The only difference is this figure has over where his face would be, kind of in a circle like that, just a white kind of plate of bone. The rest is all like fuzzy shadow that's kind of hard to define, but it has kind of like a humanoid shape.
All right, as we get closer, Nell kind of gives a little encouraging push to Sesha and softly says, not to the guys up on the stairs, but to her, says, well, they're your creations. Good luck.
Fiddling, I'm home.
You brought others with you.
Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? Misery loves company.
I would have thought you would have wanted to come to see your work by yourself.
She kind of shrugs a little bit at Nell and Guy, like, well, I wanted to show others my work.
And Moonface looks at the other two for a second, and then back at you.
No.
No. As in, they can't see it?
They would try and get in the way.
I turn and look at Nell and Gaia.
No, I absolutely swear I will not try to get in the way. Nell crosses her fingers behind her back.
Sure. If it gets us in there. I'm not very good at this.
You should not be here. You will leave.
Okay, well, to be honest here, you guys also shouldn't be here. So, no, you leave.
They will stay behind right here, and I will go with you to go see my work. But they will stay here, and they will leave with me.
I think that is a very good idea. They will probably hurt you.
Yes. You may come.
They demand order.
They will stay.
You two, and I turn to them, and I shrug. You're just absolute chaos.
to no one.
Moonface turns around and starts walking into the structure. The two at his side just stand there.
These are very strange bodyguards.
I don't know if I should take offense to that or
They
take that
both
as a
don't have
compliment.
faces. It's kind of weird.
Well, you know what? No, you can get past them easy. So,
The one with the two kind of like floating balls, one of the balls like swivels and fixates on you, Nell, and the mouth says,
I can speak.
Technically, I didn't say you couldn't speak. I said you didn't have a face. So try to prove that wrong.
the hand goes up to the one face, or like, you know, like, yeah, face basically, and then the other ball kind of swivels around as well, and you see another kind of like face there as well.
I have two.
Oh wow, you one upped me. Now you have two faces. How will
all
I
right, all
ever
right. I will
recover
not.
from that?
No. I will not have you insult my creations.
Right. If you don't want to hear about it, then I suggest you go inside because I'm gonna keep insulting your creations.
All right, fine. I will start walking up. I leave Chaos Puppy with Nell.
And as you leave, you hear Nell starting to say to the other, well, you also don't have a face.
Or a body.
So we'll come back to that.
Leave us to our fluff.
They let you go past, and you follow Moonface.
Yep.
So he has, as the sidebar, just so you know, he has his sword by his hip still. And is walking through this kind of, it's quite dark, there's no light in the sense of, like, you know, torches or anything like that, so it's gloomy, it's dark. There's a few like openings. Basically you go through a kind of more tunnel like thing and into a larger kind of central atrium. There's like holes in the structure above you where some light does kind of creep through, but it's pretty dark aside from a glow, kind of green and blue, yeah, kind of green and blue glow. That you see is this kind of it's almost like a gem inside of glass. It's not really glass, but, and it's got this kind of like core of yellow white light that's kind of dancing around on the inside of it, and it's on this little pedestal in the middle of the atrium.
Yeah.
I will walk up closer to it. I won't touch it. And I'll kind of like pace circles around it. And this is
why you have come here, yes?
this Kira?
This is your friend.
I see.
Even now, she powers the expansion. And creation.
So you found a way to harness her chaotic magic over the spirit realm and create order within it. And you use her as a battery?
She created me. Life. Order. Through your desire. And that is why we are siblings.
You think we're siblings based on the fact that you are created from my desires?
In a way, I am the other side. The side that you are afraid to enact.
I'm not afraid to enact anything.
Then why have you not done this before?
This, she gestures to Kira,
Order.
order.
An end to the chaos.
Well, I will be frank. I was thinking about going about it a completely different way. I didn't really think about using another person as a catalyst, or I guess using their magic. It crossed my mind a couple times.
The intention was there.
The intention is still there. The desire is still there.
So you have found your friend.
I wouldn't really say that this is really her, but yes, in a form, I suppose.
Then, if you wish, you may stay. Or if you like, you may go.
What happens when you're done expanding?
There will be order.
Well, there will be order, but it's just here,
Everywhere.
everywhere. How do you intend to enact order everywhere if you're only here?
The realm grows. Order is enacted. Chaos recedes.
Hmm. I mean, it's not a horrible idea.
Then there will be no more chaos. No more death. Just
Hmm.
yes.
I think this is where we differ. Yes, this is order amongst the chaos, but death is something that must happen. I will walk closer to him.
Yeah, he's been kind of like gazing at the gemstone, let's
Yeah.
call it.
Okay.
And he turns to you.
Death does not have to happen.
It doesn't have to happen. A lot of things don't have to happen. But death, it also establishes order. Without death, I mean, the circle really doesn't complete itself now, does it?
No.
No,
Well-
it doesn't.
When there is no need for death, there is also no need for life.
My sibling. You are absolutely right. Without death, there is no need for life. I will walk even closer to him. And what you created, and I will point to Kira, is just that.
And as you point, he like glances over at it and then turns his head back to you.
I did not create this. You did.
We both created it.
Yes.
However, that's not the order I truly desire.
Well, fate can be fickle.
It can, can't it? I would like to let's see here. I would like to roll to I guess I'm going to attempt to kill him. But I would like to roll against him.
You would like to how are you trying to kill him?
I will. This is kind of fitting. I kind of want to do Chaos Sphere.
Okay.
Because I feel like he's going to try and sever the strings like I would do. Like he did on our previous encounter. But if he really is like just, you know, this spiritual being of order, he really wouldn't have a reason to have the ability to have something so contradicting, is what her assumption is. Obviously, she doesn't know. She has no idea. But if he is based off of her desire of order, that's how she sees it. She sees he is just this entity or the spirit of order and stuff. So there's really no reason for him to have something so contradicting and chaotic.
Yeah.
So, and she also knows too that again he has that sword, which is essentially like her order, which is severing the strings. So, she would like to attempt to summon or to cast Chaos Sphere.
Okay. Yes. Please roll me your fate, your time, and your
That's a 90-10.
yes. That's 3 successes. It's not quite as.
It's not.
I would imagine that Sesha's a little bit, maybe not disturbed, but off-put, disquieted by some of the revelations that she's just had. So maybe the mind is just a little bit afraid currently. You raise your hand and start to basically, are you assuming like against his chest or something like that?
Yeah. Or his hand. I'd like to
Hand.
reach out to like hold his hand.
And
Not the hand closest to the sword, but his other one.
yeah. And you summon the Sphere of Chaos, which is just a swirling mess of purple, black, like smoke and fuzziness, and he reaches out, takes it, holds it up, and squashes it, and it just.
Huh. Well, this is quite the predicament.
It appears so. Well, there's nothing else to do then. Let's head back outside.
And he puts his hand on your shoulder, and you experience a feeling like being like vibrated very quickly back and forward. It's almost like it's almost like your whole body just like vibrates very quickly.
Is it like super like acceleration? Is it like super accelerating essentially?
Similar?
Can I roll against it to fight it with my own acceleration?
Yes.
Or I would like to cast acceleration, but like
Yeah.
okay. Okay, that is going to be, let's see here.
Time and
So
Gnosis.
3 and
5 total.
yeah.
4 successes, very nice. Okay, so that's a crit and 2, so 4, 6 successes total. As
It's just the better version of me.
as you feel the kind of it might be time, it's hard to tell, but essentially even with you accelerating your senses and accelerating your kind of movements and everything, you still can't react to the speed with which you move, as suddenly Gaia and Nell, there's kind of like a soft like thump, almost like a whoof, and Sesha and Moonface are back at the bottom of the stairs with both of you.
Can I have been scrying this whole encounter? Because I
Yes.
did not want to leave her in there unattended.
You absolutely could have.
Unsupervised
Unsupervised.
on a school trip.
On a school trip. The field
Now
trip
hold
gone
hands with
wrong.
Hold hands with your buddy. Try not to accelerate them into another dimension.
to have eased your attempts on scrying, Nell would have probably kept busy with getting all of the attention from the two guards and kept pushing their limits and questioning their existence by saying like, well, you don't have that, so how are you like alive right now and stuff like that. Like, where are your organs? Like, show them to me.
Yeah.
For real.
I would say the floating head one would kind of snap back a little bit, you know, like occasionally when it got a bit too much. But the other one, the circle face, all you notice is a slight extension, like it grows slightly, kind of goes the like white circle creeps around the side of his head, and up the top just expands a little bit. But aside from that, nothing happens. And yeah, then Moonface and Sesha boof back in, kind of just in front of you.
I'm going to grip his arm, the one that's touching me.
Yeah.
I'm going to cast Baba's Boon.
Okay. What's the curse or blessing?
I want him to die. No.
Yes.
just fucking kill the bitch.
Just fucking die.
Kill him.
Just like your
Just have
curse is
him
just to
die.
die right now.
He just dies. He just falls over dead.
I curse you. Yeah.
So I'm going to hex them, and I'm going to make it so that they can't complete their expansion.
Okay. Please roll me a fate and your gnosis.
Woo! Fate my gnosis. So as a let's see here. That'd be a 5d10. Yeah.
Yes.
Mother hecker.
2 successes.
This is the better version of me.
And now he does the same to you.
He does the same to me. It's just this back and forth all the time. It's never gonna stop.
Except he's the opposite, so you would have to expand and you like blow up like a balloon.
You put your hand on his like forearm and like kind of whisper a little bit, and you know, just...
After I whisper it, I go, I wish you the best of luck, sibling.
I do not believe in luck.
I know.
And as he turns and moves back towards the palace fortress thing, he walks up the stairs and turns at the top to, you know, address all of you.
You should not have come here.
And then he turns to the look at the one on his left and right, and says, sorry, he points at Gaia and says,
That one is dangerous. Kill her.
All right. Up until this point, I think the moment Sasha and the guy popped back in, Nell would have been looking very confused at Gaia because she wouldn't know what to do. She was expecting this to turn out very differently, where she was thinking Sasha would be running out from the stairs at some point with Kira, and we would have to bolt out of here. So all of this was very unexpected for her.
Yeah.
So I think right now, even though like he said kill her, she's looking at the two of them like basically like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Nothing has changed. We still have to get your friend, otherwise our mentor will be angry.
I mean, I don't know if we really. I don't really know if she would be happy if we brought her back in her current state. Anyways,
So,
Better that than nothing.
as Moonface says, kill her. The two-headed one says,
I've been waiting for this.
and reaches underneath of both of the heads and grasps the top
Yeah. No, you don't.
of his spine, and very slowly pulls it out until he has what is essentially a whip in his hand, made of spine.
I would like to create a bubble around him, a shield around him. So basically, where I could create a shield in front of me to hold back things,
Yeah.
I would like to capture him in one, so he can't move out of it.
Okay.
That's not a spell I have that I can just do, so I will need
So,
to roll for
yes, that would be a
it. Forces is shields and all of that
forces
stuff.
as shields, yeah. So that would be forces and gnosis.
Yep.
It's 3 successes. Nice. Yeah. You essentially put your hands out and channel the energy, and this kind of like bubble, or a square? Is it kind of smooth, or is it just like a cage? Like,
No, I imagine when Nella's working with space, it's like squares and stuff.
yeah.
But when she's working with force and stuff like this, now it's like rounded around him. It's like an egg.
Okay. So yeah, it's kind of like this shimmery, and he, like with the whip kind of like dangling to his side, like moves his hand forward and kind of like gets like a kind of static crack, and his hand comes back, and then he, like swings the whip and like kind of around his head and then towards the shield, and the whip like kind of rolls across it and sticks there, and you see for a second a kind of like shimmering, and then the field's gone.
Oh, well,
And then he charges towards you with the whip kind of
Aha,
above
look.
his head.
you're welcome. He's not going to kill you. Excellent
Uh,
distraction.
At the same time, the kind of shadowy, the shadowy figure, the one with the white circle, had the white circle. The white circle has expanded to the sides of his head and down along his neck, and he is looking directly at Gaia, and at around about the same time that the shield is shimmering and breaking and basically disappearing, he pushes off, and Gaia, this is quite fast, just FYI.
Oh no.
So he goes from the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs in about a second, half a second, and then shoots straight towards you with like his hand held out almost like a spear, like going straight for your kind of chest.
Okay. That dude is made of shadow, yes?
Yes.
One of the things that death is really good at is dealing such with decay and shadow, and so I am going to attempt to drain his power from him
Okay.
with my death magic.
The death magic.
With me death magic.
With me death magic.
All right, Governor, a little bit of death magic.
All right. Got your life force there.
Got your nose.
Snatched it right up.
Okay.
4.
4. Okay. So, as he comes towards you, I'm assuming you want to also like maintain a distance to allow you a second to because he's pretty. Yeah.
This guy's lightning quick, and I can only deal in so much space and distance and movement. So yeah, I'm gonna try to make sure that I don't get impaled while I'm doing this.
Yeah. So essentially, there's a moment where he just stops getting any closer to you, as you keep increasing the distance between you and him as you work this spell. So you kind of put your hand out, and you're muttering and you're mumbling, and you realize there's no power to drain.
Oh, he's absolutely nothing. Why is everything nothing?
Order!
Okay. Yeah, I've got another plan in that case.
Okay. And after like a couple of seconds of this entity like pushing towards you and kind of like moving very, very quickly, it stops, and the white covering goes over his chest and shoulders, and then he pushes again to like charge towards you, and this time it doesn't matter how far you make the distance, he out distances your
He outpaces it.
So essentially, like, it looks very much like he's moving through treacle, like slowly getting towards you, but you and also Nell will be able to tell that he's actually covering a very long distance very, very quickly to basically get to you. Nell, at the same time, Spine is charging towards you.
Spine is charging towards me. We're about to see. My first reaction was, "Well, I'm glad you get this phase, the space mage." Good luck with that. So Spine is charging towards me.
Yeah, kind of with the whip, Spine whip, like kind of just about to like swing the whip towards you.
Yeah, sure. I'll react to that, but first I want to disorient him and I want to swap places.
Okay.
So first reaction is as he's charging towards me, I want to swap places so that he's disoriented for a second.
Yeah.
And then I would like to reach into a portal dimension and get out a special blade that I don't know what force it's gonna inhabit, so we're gonna see.
Okay.
Because basically Nell's mind right now is we're in this kind of supposed spirit realm, but it's not the spirit realm, and everything is kind of vague. So in her mind, she doesn't know if she can call forces here, right? So if she can like call lightning or use other forces, if essentially this is nothing. So if she wants to use forces, she's gonna try to get them to her first. And we're gonna see how good that works.
Yeah. You reach in as you make the switch, and you hear like the whoosh of like the whip like whipping around as he was trying to like, basically ensnare you with the whip, but the swap just means he just swishes at air basically. At the same time, you reach in and you draw out this kind of arcane. It's not a rapier. It's not. I guess kind of longsword looking type thing. Just like a blade like that. Like very arcane, like very fancy looking runes kind of inscribed in it and that type of thing. And are you like channeling through it yet, or are you
The
just gonna
way
hold it?
the way I understood it was that it is always charged with an element, with a force, but
Yes.
I don't know. I can't control which one, and it changes. So
It does charge with a force. Essentially, you have to like channel your magic through it, and it like empowers it, and then it goes into So as you hold it, are you going to channel your magic in and see what you got today? Okay.
let's see what's on the menu, boys.
Please roll me a d20.
What's behind door number 1?
I need to type that. 4.
1 second.
I love it. It's like wild magic in D&D.
Okay. There's a second where it kind of shimmers a bit. It seems to go almost like incorporeal, but then it solidifies, and small like wisps of smoke start to stream up, and then it just explodes in fire. Not explodes, but like the essentially the blade itself.
There's an explosion.
The blade itself is ringed with this kind of like very molten hot kind of like line, and then flames kind of lick up around it. So it's like supercharged, super heated. It's almost like a laser cutter or something, you know. It's got that like thermal energy going on.
Nell is happy that it's fire, or heat. Also realizing that she'll regret it later on when she has the burn marks for it, but this is what we'll work with right now.
Yeah. It is a bit of a roulette. Just be glad
Yeah.
you didn't get like water.
I'll try to swing it from where I'm standing, and because it's effortless to me at this point.
Yes.
I'll try to. I'll try to do it. I gotta keep the magic lessons with me, the hocus pocus with me.
Yeah.
I won't swing it. That's too out there. I'll stab it behind me so that no one sees where the blade goes, but it pops up underneath, actually. The other guy.
Underneath him?
Yeah, because he's probably expecting that to come from up, like above him, if I'm doing it like that, but it's not.
Okay, yeah. Roll me. In this instance, I'll say roll me your space and Gnosis, please.
Please, can I get surprise attack advantage? No, I'm kidding. I'll roll with what I have and pray that it's good. Holy fuck, no, it's not.
A success.
Can I also look nicely at you like Josh did and ask if I can reroll? I don't know how he did it.
I don't know how he did it.
I'm magic.
So in that instance, it was a draw, and Gaia is a very advanced mage.
All right.
So
You get
Also, I don't know the
lucky.
rules of this game, so I can ask all sorts of stupid questions.
I
also-
basically, it's like, guy just built different.
That's literally like we're 10 episodes in and you're the first one to ask like, can I reroll? And she'd be like, yeah, sure, reroll 3 dice. And I'm like, wait, was this possible the whole time?
Yeah.
3,
Oh, no.
4 successes. Essentially, as the blade comes up, about to like pierce his foot, he pivots and moves, and the blade kind of comes up straight in front of his face, and he swings the whip around again, and it comes careening, kind of like it's going to try and wrap around your neck.
I'm gonna. Shit, I can't do that. I was. I have a funny idea. But before I do that,
I'm gonna teleport my neck away. Sucks to be you.
not entirely correct. Thank you. This is also just FYI in Nell's mind. This is the moment that also solidifies. Subtle isn't always the best way. Fuck Rasputin's lessons sometime. It may be old, but I will first. An instinctual reaction would be to swap places again. But I want after that I want to do something else because I wanted to. I'll tell that afterwards if someone else does something in between. But I have an idea. But Nell's instinctual reaction would be to swap places to try and prevent the thing from going around her neck. Or, you know what? If that's too cliched, Nell will open a portal underneath her feet so that she
like drops
pops
out
out.
and
Yeah.
pops out somewhere. Okay, yeah. That's totally doable. So you the whip like whistles over your head as you just like fall through the portal. Where are you coming out?
Literally just like behind him, or like a few meters behind him, just suddenly falling from like the like above.
Yeah. We'll come back to that. Gaia.
I do the superhero move. I land in the superhero landing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He kicks you in the face because you take too much time like landing like that. But no.
Your knees really hurt.
So Gaia.
I have a very good plan.
Okay.
This realm is order.
Yes.
It has no animating force of its own, but it is made of spirit. And the one thing the spirit realm does very well is hierarchies. I would like to invent a hierarchy in this space and put myself at the top of it to use my own animating force so I can fucking control this stuff. Way easier.
What you basically said is, I am the CEO of this place now.
I'm the boss.
I am paying your wages.
Girl
You better
bossing my
listen to me.
Girl bossing my way. I'd like to speak to you, manager.
I am the
I'm
manager
the
now.
CEO.
I would say yes, that's possible. But it's going to take you a couple of seconds, which is enough time to get hit.
Ugh.
Can I do my thing?
Yeah, if there's seconds to be made somewhere else, otherwise I will delay that and use another thing.
Okay. Interesting. Sasha.
I've got more than one idea.
Well, I know that this will take seconds to do. with what I just messaged you.
Oh, you want to do that now?
Yeah.
Really?
Why not? I
mean,
I could save it.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be a bit more of a last ditch kind of like desperate thing as opposed to.
No, I think I
Let's
just
go.
actually want to do something different. I would like to take a voodoo doll out my bandolier of voodoo dolls, and I will proceed to rip its head off.
Okay.
Thus sacrificing it.
Which voodoo doll?
Not Kira's.
Okay.
Just one of the blank ones that I
Okay, so you're putting your magic into the voodoo doll.
putting my magic into the voodoo doll. Yeah.
Which of the entities is getting the wrath of this?
Which one looks more spooky?
Probably circle.
Circle?
Yeah, like he's got this
yeah.
slowly like creeping.
Yeah, I will target circle, and I will after I rip the voodoo doll's head off, and I will can I sever the flow on it?
I would say you'd need to like get a proper circle, create a magic circle, put your
Oh, well then no, I'm going to just go ahead and accelerate myself and make myself super fast.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna stab him with my little sword, even though he's made out of shadow and no power and stuff, because that's how it works, right?
Are you severing the strings?
Oh yeah, I'm severing the strings.
Okay.
I would like to select severing the strings for 600, please.
So you reach down, grasp the hilt of your sword, and as you pull, you feel the strings snap and the seals break, and you hear the shing of your sword come out of its scabbard, and you hear the exact same thing from the top of the stairs as Moonface also draws his sword. God, I'm trying to remember which. Yours is pure white, right?
Yes.
Yes, and his is pure black. He doesn't move. He doesn't do anything. He just draws the sword.
That's fine, because I'm not after him.
Yeah.
I want the shadowy fella.
And you've accelerated, yes? So, are we talking just a straight up haha
Yeah.
from behind?
Just like the really cool samurai thing where it's like you just see the shoo, like just like a little like lightning, like a little ching before you realize it, and then I'm like, I like have like the samurai stance.
Yeah.
In that
Right
case,
behind
I'm continuing to expand the distance, even though it's not working, to help keep in place.
Yeah.
And also you can reactively, like if he tries to dodge left or go right, like you can.
Yeah, I'm
him.
only expanding the space in front of him.
Yeah. In that case, Sesha, please roll me. People using weapons and physical abilities. Oh, it's so.
It never happens.
Never happens. Except for when Nell tries to punch things. Or does punch things, I guess. So that will be dexterity and weaponry, which will be 5 dice, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know I'm good with weapons.
Yeah.
I swear, I promise I'm good. Ah.
Okay. So that's enough. You like quickly kind of dash forward with the acceleration kind of speeding up your movements, and you like draw your sword back and like slice straight through his head, through that neck there, and find yourself like kind of another superhero pose where you're like ting, like thing out,
Yeah.
and just standing like shoulder to shoulder with Gaia, as the head, the entity itself, the circle face, like stops running, stops trying to kind of get to Gaia, and the head kind of slowly like slides off the neck and starts to kind of topple towards the floor, at which point a kind of like bubbling white, almost like clay, comes out of the neck where it was cut and attaches to the head and like pulls it back on, and then kind of this like bubbly white line goes all the way across where you cut, And there's like a second where it pauses, and then the white bone grows along the arms to about the elbow, and then down the chest to kind of about midway down the chest, and a little bit around the sides as well. And there's like a second where it like looks at you, and then it looks back at Gaia, and before you can even react, you feel an impact on your shoulder as it just slams into your shoulder with its fist. At this point, Gaia,
Does that give me time I need?
you would have time to enact your yes.
Okay. Thank you for your sacrifice.
I was so confused right now.
Yeah, do I spirit?
Yes. Spirit and Gnosis, please.
Okay, I'm actually good at this. Yeah, I am.
Wow.
I'm the boss now! I am the captain!
So
I'm the captain of the ship.
This is my company now.
This is my company now.
yes.
All your spirit plane are belong to us.
Yeah.
And essentially you put yourself at the top of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
I will tell you that you took a fairly severe knock to the shoulder, but it doesn't hurt.
Me?
Yeah,
It's worth it.
we'll see. In actual fact, you can't feel any pain on your shoulder at all. It's like he didn't hit you.
Can I figure out why?
You can't feel your shoulder.
Well, I'm gonna look at it first and then...
Yeah.
Is it because you don't have a shoulder anymore?
No, the shoulder's there.
Oh.
Is it because the spirit of the shoulder was punched out?
Punched out my ghost!
What I'll say is, your magic feels disrupted.
He punched your chakra.
You don't have any feeling in your shoulder, and the regular flow of magic through you is kind of disrupted. It is jolted almost.
Okay. This thing is fucking with me. Alright. Now that I am the boss around here, there are going to be a few changes.
Okay.
Including... Everything, including the palace, is going to start animating. I'm going to kick the shit out of Mr. Whippy.
Mr. Whippy?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, please let me have my last cool scene.
You want to do Mr. Whippy? Okay, I'll deal with Shadow Boy, Bone Face.
Circle face, yeah.
Yeah, Circle Face.
Bone
yeah.
face.
Names aren't important for inferiors.
No.
Yeah, I'm going to start using the sand around us to basically tear this shadow thing apart.
Okay. We'll quickly jump to Nell, and then we'll get back to the tearing apart. Nell.
GP.
Yes.
I have a very cool move in my mind, so I wanted to do it.
Okay.
You tell me if I'm too ambitious for it or not.
Okay.
Basically, I want to combine things that Nell has learned. So I want to sword in one hand, a few meters away from the guy. Nell wants to lift up her leg and kick into the air, but using kinetic blow and the portal, make it so that from a distance she can kick upwards towards the guy and try to, once he's in the air from the kick,
Yeah.
make it so that the space increases a lot so that he flies away a lot more than he should because
okay.
of the kick. I'll explain my phases of this move.
Alright.
So that would be the first phase. If that thing works,
Yeah.
Nell's plan is to then jump towards him, do the same for her, so make the friction of the movement and the space she can increase, make her how would you call it, impact bigger, as she wants to jump on top of him and smash the sword down into his head. That's the second part of the move if it works. It would be really cool. In my head, it's really cool if it works, but let's see.
All right. Let's go for a forces and you know what? Let's go for a space and gnosis, and our forces and I think it's melee. Give me a second here. Let me make sure I've got the right brawl. Sorry.
Doesn't have melee, but
brawl is yeah the one.
Yeah, doesn't have melee, so yeah, brawl.
Yeah.
All right, so space and gnosis.
Yes.
Yeah. Just so you know, the kinetic blow is something Nell has as a spell.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be an automatic.
Yeah.
Okay, and your forces and melee as well, please.
Yes.
Sorry, forces and brawl.
Yes.
Nice. It's 4 successes and 2 successes, respectively. Okay.
Oh, baby.
That's also that's 3 and 2, which is 5.
I object, Your Honor.
I object.
Okay, so what happens is you kick up into the air and you open a portal and it catches him like right in the stomach, and he is essentially like blasted up, and you at the same time change the distance between him and the ground, the distance that he's traveling, and it kind of shoots, and then you do the same thing for yourself, and you kind of get yourself accelerate yourself up with like a I guess it is a force jump, but that sounds weird to say. And you kind of rocket above him and then start coming down with the sword until you feel something on your leg, around your ankle. And even though he's still being carried by the force, like he's not moving his whip, the whip has curled around your ankle, and you feel your connection to your forces, to your space magic draining from you. You start to slow down, he starts to slow down, and the distance negates itself, and you're back just like a couple of feet off the ground as the whip tightens and slams you against the ground. And you just feel the wind like kind of knocked out of you. You don't superhero land this time, I'm afraid. And he lands in kind of like a pile as the whip like uncurls, and almost like a snake like slithers back towards him, and kind of like the joints start slotting back together. From what you can tell, and you know, this will be something that you'll kind of know in general, because currently you've had the wind knocked out of you, you're probably a little bit dazed. It appears like the whip can move on its own, and maybe has some type of draining ability, I guess. We'll come back to that. Gaia, Sesha.
Well, given that I just remembered that the shadow fella is able to reconstitute somehow,
Yes.
I'm not going to tear it apart. I am, in fact, going to help Nell. By using the sand and the bone to tear apart Mr. Whippy instead. But yeah, I'm going to say to Sesha, like, don't know how to kill this thing yet, and it's damaged my arm without damaging it, so don't get too close.
Maybe that's precisely what we have to do. I believe I'm still accelerated, correct?
Yes.
All right. I would like to, with my zoomies, I would like to go over to said shadow. And I will say to myself, I go, well, third time's a charm. And then I'll say, and I'll look at him and I'll go, because I will be casting this yet a third time. And I will use Chaos Sphere.
They call that originality.
Okay. Your fate, your time, and your gnosis, please.
That is I believe it's a 9d10.
Yes.
Daytime gnosis, yeah.
Just to make this whole scene realistic, we forgot about the dog. So what happened to the dog was that he was co-located back to the house to Shelby.
Oh, okay.
Aw,
You can.
little
yeah.
chaos puppy. That's a fail, and that's a...
4 successes.
Okay.
Okay. 1 success. You summon the Chaos Sphere in your palm.
I want to pull right in his chest.
And you just want to...
Yep.
So, as you, like, push it down into his chest, it starts to bubble, and white kind of, almost like clay, keeps forming and pushing the sphere back. As you push, the bubbles of clay form and push it back, and then get sucked into the chaos, and kind of like, essentially like little glitter is like flying up all around you. You know, like pink and purple and blue and yellow, all sparkly. And
I just hear this like the confetti like little blower.
yeah. At which point, all 3 of you distinctly hear,
I think that's enough of that.
as Moonface suddenly echoes and is right in front of you, Sesha, with his sword going straight towards your midriff.
I'm gonna fucking tear space.
Okay.
So she is so I'm in the way and she is out of the way.
Okay.
I'm literally gonna rend this entire place apart.
It's doable. It's you pretty much have enough time just about to get in the way.
I mean, I'm CEO, I'm boss. Can I use spirit and space?
Yes. So
Fuck yeah.
The ground will be moving as well as you, just kind of like, so the ground kind of shifts. It's all very quick.
Yeah, I'm like tearing apart the palace in the process. The whole fucking thing is moving
And
as I wanted to.
Moonface's sword slides just between your ribs, kind of through into there, and as it pierces, this kind of like, again, white clay erupts from the wound, along with a small amount of kind of like smoky darkness, and you feel... what's the best way to describe it? You feel a slow almost like dulling of the mind, almost like something's trying to put you to sleep, something's trying to kind of like weigh into your consciousness and just drag you away.
Oh.
As this kind of like white clay starts to seep up around you and start to try and encase you. Could you please roll me spirit
Mm-hmm.
and gnosis, and we'll take 2 extra dice for your willpower to
Okay.
essentially represent that.
Yeah, I'm gonna resist the shit out of this with everything I got.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as the this kind of strange clay bone type stuff starts to expand, you get a hold of yourself, you shake your consciousness, and you manage to essentially resist this very strong impulse. As a sidebar, probably literally just your long years dealing with spirits and all that kind of stuff stopped whatever the hell this was. And when you have a little more time, maybe you could think about what the hell this just was. And it essentially gets pushed back. It recedes, and Moonface draws his sword out, leaving this like little wisping of kind of dark smoke from the wound. I'm gonna sidebar as well. You don't feel great.
No, I don't imagine that I do. Okay. I'm fucking done with a battle that I don't think we can win. So I'm going to try and shift space so there is like as much between us and them as possible.
Yeah.
And put us with Kira Crystal.
Kira Crystal that way. It would require you to go into the
Into the palace.
into the palace.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's my palace now, so
It's my house now.
get me a bone crown.
How about this? For you kind of rocket away on like a mound of sand, like moving sand, almost like a wave, and like move toward and like go towards the it takes you off towards the steps at the same time as both Sesha and Nell. Nell being like, you know, on her side and wind knocked out of her, and Sesha just kind of like like desperately kind of like trying to I can't help it, Rasengan this this entity. They both get drawn into the sand like very quickly, and are kind of like pulled back out of it at the base of the stairs.
Okay, phew. Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, that as
And
long as
then
that distance happens, I'm happy with that.
you
Like
just,
two
like-
parting waves
Yeah.
of sand.
Once you kind of end up there in like a couple of seconds, you like sweep your hand. Please roll me your space and your gnosis.
Yeah. Okay.
This is literally just for basically how much time you have, how much distance you can extend.
Oh, that's 2.
Okay.
Not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time. I will say, position you are now, everything considered, and considering how fast a couple of those ones can move, you can probably get to the crystal, but they can probably get to you before you can do much more than get to the crystal. So it would be a case of crystal or get the hell out of here.
That's not a choice for me. I'm gonna put that to the other 2.
Quickly, then, yeah.
I ain't leaving without that there gosh darn crystal.
Can we cannot. Damn. Okay. Can we see anything? Because Nell would basically know nothing about this crystal, and yeah, Nell would be very good at helping getting this crystal out. But I'm afraid she doesn't know anything about it.
We can just say Kira's in there. Because she is.
Yeah.
Well,
Can I?
Sort of.
well, first thing, like, can we see it? Like, that's the first question, and then second is how would Nell know? Because yeah, at this point she doesn't know.
Yeah, so you can't see it. It's up the stairs through a reasonably long hallway, and then
I typed something.
yeah,
Like, make the problem. Like, the thing is like I'm not wishing for a specific, but I'm wishing more so like the probability. You know, like the.
I would say that you can essentially make it so that it leaves here, but you would have no control over where it would go. And it would it would require it would require a sacrifice.
All right. Okay. What about the second part? Second part, it would be essentially probable with.
That would you could increase the probability, although
Yeah, I want to increase the probability of it. Obviously, I can't control it
Yeah.
and make it like okay. All right.
would you like me to
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, as you're talking, very quickly, like, you know, do we go? Do we, Sesha pauses for a second, sword in one hand, and then reaches up and with her nail carves around her eye. And then quickly inscribes runes around her eye. And then goes like this and enacts fate. Pours fate into herself and into the area. If you were a fate mage, you could see silver strings kind of extending all around Sesha. And you sacrifice your eye to ensure that the crystal leaves this place and to assist in the escape. Gaia, the disruption to your magic from the shoulder is starting to ease. It's starting to come back a little bit. You think you have enough to rip open a hole?
Okay. Yeah, are we at the crystal yet?
You're still at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
Like, you don't have the... I mean, if you want
We
to
don't have the time to get there.
Like, if you didn't push them far enough away, that numbness, and also you are still seeping smoke a little bit from your
Yeah.
sword wound.
Okay. In that case, I am going to make the tear big enough that it stretches to include both us and the crystal. I mean, it's a tear. I don't have control over it.
Yes. Okay. You're basically opening a tear into the spirit realm, is in kind of like a chasm. So just like...
Yep. Shooting out between us and where the crystal was, so we both escape. What happens beyond that is fate.
Okay. So, you wrench your arm again across and you slash. And as you slash, crack, a huge kind of like creaking crack just goes across the ground and then across the kind of fortress itself, and just this big tear opens up, and this kind of swirling of like very vibrant energy can be seen like just behind the cracks, just behind this big tear that has happened. Seeing as you were scrying and everything, you kind of pretty much, fate came into play here. Just so happened that you opened up an area where, you know, the crystal happened to be. And all three of you find yourselves falling in to the spirit realm. Luckily, Gaia, you have some experience with the spirit realm, although I will say abilities feel a bit diminished currently.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, could I take it as read that you wish to kind of get through the spirit realm and back into where you started off, like the Shelby house, White Room?
That's probably the safest place I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with half spirit rounded up and half gnosis rounded up.
Okay. Oh yeah!
That is 4 successes.
That's fate magic at work.
Yeah, you start as you all fall through and you start pushing through the spirit realm. Gaia essentially is pushing a pathway through for you. The energy closes back around you very quickly as you're going through, so you kind of have to huddle together. And as you go, Guy, you do slow down a little bit, but essentially, it's so interesting how fate works out. Through the spirit realm, as you keep going, like, it does take a bit of time still. There's no sign of pursuit, and if we draw back a little bit, we'll see it's because the entities, the beings, have desperately a couple of them have thrown themselves into the scar to go and find that gem. Basically, the gem going meant they weren't interested in you anymore, and so, you know. Going with you, you have Sesha. Your eye has essentially the eye itself has kind of corroded into dust, and you now have an empty socket. You can still see out your other eye. Well done. But it essentially there's nothing left there. You know some life mages. Guy as a life mage might be able to help. Maybe. We'll see. Nell, you're bruised and a little bit injured. You might have some strain. But aside from feeling a little bit drained, a little bit low on stamina, you're not doing too badly. Are you just gonna break through into Shelby's house?
Again.
Yeah?
Again.
Okay.
Oh, poor Shelby.
So, you push through this storm, like, and I will say, like, you guys have been through a bit of a time, and as you keep going, the spirit realm does slowly close in a little bit. It's not enough to be threatening, but it's enough to show you just how much Gaia kind of like strained her abilities up to this point, until finally you find yourselves in the right place, able to push through, and I'm afraid you're gonna have to break through. Like, there's no real
I make a tear in exactly the same place I did last time.
That is the place you fixed.
Yeah, the one I fixed.
And you smash through, and it's smash open, and Sesha, Nell, and Gaia, you step out of the spirit realm and into the white room. There is a little tear and a little smashed reality around the place, but it's nothing too bad. And you're back. And I will say you hear from a couple of flights above this kind of like, hello?
Hello, Shelby. I think we need some help.
I'll be right down.
Are you both okay?
So we need to go back. What about Kira? We need to go back.
Kira is not there anymore.
What?
Sesha made sure of that.
Well,
We weren't going to win that fight.
yeah, but we could have gotten her out. What do you mean
There
she's
was-
not there?
We moved her somewhere else, I can't tell where. But she is safer than she is. Safer than she was. I couldn't buy us any more time. They were going to kill us.
Gaia.
Now you have a chance.
Sesha and Nell, could you please roll me a wits and what would it be here? Let's make it a wits and composure.
So that would be a 5d10, I think. Yeah.
That's 2 for Nell and 4 for Sesha. Sesha, you see that there's a like kind of black smoky essence coming out of the wound that Gaia has in her side, or kind of like in her torso. Gaia, your nose starts to bleed.
Oh dear. Is there a chair?
Oh,
I don't think I have a lot of time. So
wait. It's just a wound. You can heal it, right?
yeah, I look at where I was stabbed and I like move the fabric out of the way.
It's like dark and discolored, and there's like smokes, like kind of dark smoke gently rising from it.
This
And
does not appear to be magic. It is whatever the opposite of that is.
Well, if it's not magic, there are still normal doctors. There's still normal medical things. And I
I've
get
spent-
hurt all the time. You can still heal without magic. We weren't.
What does Gaia's fate strings look like now?
there's just one, and it's pretty short. You hear like a doof, 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 doof of footsteps as Shelby comes into the white room and says, "What is it? You made a hole in the wall."
Yes, I'm sorry. Won't happen again.
Look, Nell starts to come towards Gaia and starts to gesture that she wants to look at the wound. Like I got hurt lots of time in the past. Like maybe you, with all the wisdom and all the years, you forget that you can actually fucking heal human wounds as well.
I am actually a medical doctor. I don't rate my chances.
I will kneel down on the other side of Gaia, and I will hold her hand in both of mine.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, uh, and she's like kind of struggling to say this, but also keep her composure.
Mm.
Fate has a really funny way of working things out, doesn't it?
Yes. I have spent a lot of time fixing and healing things, and often they are not the same as when they started. And that is okay.
Don't. You two need to stop talking like she's gonna die. She's not gonna die.
Sasha will look at you with her one singular eye, and it is glossy and
Don't
bloodshot.
fucking
You do
give
not.
up
You do
that
you-
fast.
Don't know
You're
what
a
this is,
powerful mage. You've roamed around for centuries. You don't need to counsel. They can fuck your ass. You can heal a little wound.
As you're saying this, Shelby like kind of stopped a bit stunned for a second, and then walks forward and kneels down kind of by your shoulder, and says, Gaia, what happened? Who did this?
the moon-faced man.
Did you find Kira?
Sasha did. We got her out of there, but we don't know where she is, so you will have to do a little more looking, I'm afraid. I think there is something very wrong with that place, and I know enough to know that I can't do anything about it anymore. Shelby, is it okay if I tell them what I did to you?
Oh, what you did? Did you do something?
Ah, yes, well, your memory is not what it was.
And as you're speaking, a small shadow is in the doorway, leading into the house from this room, just kind of like peeking around the side. And as you start to speak, Killjoy walks in, kind of fuzzy, shadowy.
Okay, well, yes, I'm a powerful mage now, and thank you for trusting me, because really it was the smart thing to do not to do that. But I have been walking around for centuries, and maybe it is time for something new. The biggest regret I have is that I hurt someone I respect, and I think you can do a better job than me of fixing that one. You remember when I said that I had once used spirit and space magic at the same time? That was to seal away something called Kiljara. And it hurt Shelby when I did it, and I have regretted it ever since. This hurt I'm feeling now, it feels a lot like that. that time.
Well, don't, and like, Shelby like pats you on the shoulder. Don't worry too much, Gaia. I'm used to this sort of thing. It's absolutely, perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about, and you know, all is forgiven. It's everything's fine.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Those of you who can see, the kind of blackened area starts to crack and starts to spread quicker, as the best way I can describe it is you start to charcoal, like you essentially start to turn into ash and charcoal, as it starts like spreading up and along you from the wound.
I think both of you were right. There is something unnatural, something unfair about the power we wield and use to keep ourselves for too long. I've been prepared for this for a very long time, and I am glad it was to help you two. You three.
Us four.
Yes.
And Shelby says, "Thank you for being kind and nice. I wish I could help, but I just know space magic, a little bit of primal magic. Isn't nothing I can help with. Goodbye, Gaia."
Goodbye.
Thank you for proving me wrong.
I would like to do something. I don't know if I can. I mean, I might be able to. So, all right. So I'm going to. I would like to look at Gaia, and she will be. Sasha will be visibly, silently, leaking water out of her singular eye. And she will ask Gaia, I'm sorry I altered your fate in such a drastic way. And I think the only thing that I could really ask is that you allow me to prevent you from crumbling away. It's just so unbecoming of you, you know.
The cracks like start spreading
Yeah.
up to the neck. I will
Never
say,
You know, a
One-
mage of your status, you know. She'll start wiping away her tears. Deserves a better send off.
I never want to refuse help. But first, can I please leave you with a hug? It has been a while. And she
Of course.
tries to gather in both Sasha and Nell.
anyone resisting? She like there's cracking and there's little bits of, you know, kind of charcoal-y coming off, but you both get a Gaia arm around the back of your neck and very faint pressure squeeze. And I will say, I would say no,
Okay.
just purely because the act is
Okay.
already done, the fate is sealed, and there's a last kind of exhaling of breath as the petrification takes full fold, and Gaia is essentially a kind of charcoal-ish looking statue. And as a sidebar, you did let them go slightly enough so that if when they, you know, they wouldn't rip your arms off. There's maybe 20 seconds of silence, and then you hear behind you, "Can you see me now?" From Killja, behind you, and Shelby, with tears, looks around and says, "Do I know you?" And Killja steps forward and says, "We used to be one before we were separated," and reaches out and touches Shelby on the shoulder. "We used to be Kiljara, the Void King." And we will end there for today. I don't want to break the silence, really. Everyone doing okay?
Hot damn!
Oops.
That was a good episode. Holy cow!
Whoa, that happened.
I'm upset, but I'm also confused. So many questions. So many questions.
I
I'll
only
answer them
have-
for you.
One brain cell at this moment, and that brain cell is really sad.
I can give you this. You remember the artifacts with the initials on them?
Yeah. Wait, those.
KVK.
That's him. That's Kiljara, isn't it? They made the artifacts. He was the one that had to be kind of like turned down a notch, right?
Yeah.
Gosh dang it. Oh, wow.
So, thank you very much, Josh, for coming on and guesting.
A pleasure.
It was so nice to have you not betray everyone.
Yeah.
Except for possibly the players emotionally. I'm not 100% sure about that.
Any jab I can get in there.
Yeah. I will throw it open to everyone for outros, thoughts, if you want to have a little, go over. But I will say very quickly for myself, are wandering in, Patreon, Twitter, Discord, all that stuff. I'll try and do a proper intro next time to make up for this even worse outro than usual. But I'll throw it over to everyone else if you want to chat about the episode, or if you just want to plug yourself quickly and get out of here so you can go cry into a pillow for a couple of hours.
I had a last fucking quip, or not quip, but a last fucking thing to say to Gaia, but it didn't feel right at the moment because you narratively like let it in the way it went. But Nell was gonna, like, the moment Gaia fully went into charcoal, Nell wanted to say that it's not fair because Gaia still wanted to see Merlin's front steps.
She did. Yeah. There was a lot that Gaia wanted to do still, which that is fate.
Let's get off the sad music.
Yeah, you can find me at Strange Adventures or Pod by Night in the places on the social medias. I either talk about Vampire TTRPG or Vampire TTRPG. Yeah, and this was incredible. I really loved playing Gaia, and I really loved playing Gaia with you. So, yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. And hot potato it to anyone, everyone.
Yeah, Cat.
Oh god. Well, I didn't expect to have a ninja chopping onions at my desk. What a crazy session. I am still reeling from it. Lots of questions and stuff. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for watching and supporting the show. As always, we all really appreciate it. I love looking forward to Mondays now just to do this show. I love this group. Josh, thank you so much for playing Gaia. I absolutely loved them. Like, they're my favorite. Don't tell Rasputin.
No.
But you can find me on Twitch at I'm Cat, and also on Twitter at I'm Cat Cat. I have another table story or tabletop RPG story that I'll be playing very soon, but I can't really say anything about it yet. But keep your eyes peeled, so follow me on Twitter or Twitch. And yeah, I'll be really exciting. As always, GP, thank you so much for narrating such a amazing story-driven game. It's the best. And I toss it to my favorite partner in crime yet again, as always, Nell.
I will receive it a bit more softly than they'll receive punches this session.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, don't apologize for that. Honestly, like, it was time that someone at least heard her as well, emotionally and physically this session. Gosh, thank you. Yeah. Josh, I curse you for bringing a character in and making us care so much into episodes that we literally start crying when she dies. Like, I also, like, I felt tears coming, but I was like trying to keep them in, like my eyes were getting watery, and then I saw Cat, like, I'm gonna cry, and I was like,
oh,
fuck,
no!
fuck.
I was the weakest link.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
It's like, you son of a bitch. Bet. All right, I got it. Bet.
Yeah, this session was really good. Really fucking good. I am excited, and I really don't know what's gonna happen next week. So we'll see. But until then, hi, I'm Serix. I've been playing Nell. the spicy, funky Force Space Mage, who throws a punch better than she receives them. Also, spoiler alert, she might have daddy issues, which Guyana plainly put out, but we'll get to that at some point. And you can find me as Syrinx on Twitter and Instagram as such. Thank you for watching, for joining us in the already 10th fucking episode.
Yeah.
And I'll toss it back to Sheepy.
So, thank you for watching, everyone. We'll be off momentarily. However, seeing as our cast today did such a good job and fucking knocked out the park so well, I'm gonna give you a little piece of like teaser, which may not have fully occurred to you. Moonface's sword doesn't do the same thing as Sesha's. It doesn't like ensure death, it transforms. And if you consider that before all of these entities didn't exist and now they do, and when Moonface stabbed Gaia, she was almost like encased in that like weird bone white stuff. A little something to think about. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll have Alfie with us too. We'll have to see about...
Oh gosh, she's gonna come back and she's gonna just see Gaia's statue and just look at us both and go, "What the heck?"
I leave for 10 minutes.
I leave for 10 minutes and
Petrified
look at
our
what you've
friend.
done. Oh no.
So, thank you for watching. See you next week. We're gonna go and I think people are gonna shout at me for being a bot. Bye everyone. Cheers.
doing something.